People, wherever you are in the world, welcome to the Football Takeover. I'm G Talks Arsenal, your host for tonight's Football Takeover transfer show. And I'm joined backstage by the myth, the man, the legend, that is Bobby, the transfer guru. And I'm also joined in the studio tonight with the one and only brother from another mother, which is Coach Ali. How you doing, Ali?
Yes, I'm good, G. How are you, bro? How's your day been?
It's good, man. It's good. Obviously, work's a bit crazy. This week I've started a really strict gym regime. So I've been every day. I've been up at 5:15 in the gym by 6:15. Finished working out by about 7:30. At work for 8. So it's full on, tiring, but I'm seeing the results. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pumped. So it's all good, man. It's all good.
That's good, man. That's good to hear.
That's probably just like a regular day for you, isn't it? Like being a coach.
Yeah, I just finished with the kids just now, so just gonna do live stream with your Bobby and yourself, and then back onto adults class after this.
Wicked.
Developing the business, so we're doing well. Nice. Let's get into it.
That's it. Nice. Well, what we're going to do, obviously, I know that the comment section's already filled up. Just want to thank, obviously, all the people that have tuned into the X already, and those of you who are tuning into YouTube for whatever reason. Obviously, we want you to, be with us step by step of this journey. So whatever reason you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do click that like button and do subscribe to the channel and spread the word. Nothing's more powerful than word of mouth. So please do spread the word. Talk to your fellow Arsenal fans. Talk to your fellow football fans, and let them know who we are and let them know where they can find us. So before we actually get into transfers, we're just going to tease you a little bit more. And we're going to talk about what was obviously a really important game last night. I mean, some people might say in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't important. Obviously, we seem to have, bigger fish to fry in the Premier League. Back-to-back draws. We had the opportunity to be, more or less 15 points clear at this point. We've not necessarily taken it, but I'll be honest, I was quite nervous ahead of the Inter game. Inter Milan are a big team away to the San Siro, never an easy place to go. So for me, I think it was really, really important. That we did put in a performance. I was intrigued to see whether he would rotate, whether he would field the same 11, obviously ahead of a massive game at the weekend against United, given United's recent result against City. So, yeah, it was a really important game. So I'll come to you, Ali, before I give you my thoughts on the game and so forth. I mean, what did you make of the lineup? I'll read it for those. I'll read it out for those who, aren't watching, who may be just kind of listening and stuff.
Sure.
Or maybe you didn't catch the game. So we started with Rare in goal. We started with a back four of Timber, Saliba, Sierra, and Luis Skelly. A midfield three of Zubamendi, Marino, and Eze. And then a front three of Saka, Trossard, and Jesus. So what did you make of the lineup initially?
Yeah, no, initially I thought that was a good lineup to go with. I'm glad we made the rotation. I think we made the rotation in the correct positions. Mm-hmm. So I was really content. I was double-minded in terms of, am I really bothered? But obviously, as Arsenal fans, we have to be bothered because it's Arsenal Football Club and we're supposed to win it. We go into every game of the season, whether it's a friendly, whether it's a cup game or league game, wanting to win the game, especially the way Arteta's built the squad over the past 3 years. That's what I expect. So after the rotation was complete, the 7 players switched out and in, I was happy with that lineup, and I thought it could get us a draw minimum. I would have been shocked. I would have been surprised if we had lost, to be honest.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I saw the lineup and I didn't feel confident. If I'm
okay, interesting.
I didn't. I don't know why. Maybe it was off the back of the last 2 performances. I didn't think we were particularly good against Liverpool. I was publicly, I was quite vocal on X in terms of not toxic, but I was vocal. I was disappointed, and that's what I put out there. I was disappointed how we played against Forest, and I wasn't confident. And I don't think it was more to do with the personnel. I think it was just more to do with the back-to-back performances, like not seizing the opportunity. And like I said in the intro, introducing the game, San Siro is never an easy place to go. Inter Milan,
no, definitely not.
Inter Milan are no slouches. So I thought we would have a game on our hands. And I'll be honest, it was a lot more comfortable than I envisioned. A lot more comfortable. It was nice to see, Hayes, regardless what his future entails, but it was nice to see him get a start. Because this is a squad. This is a squad sport, and
Of course.
win this league, it's going to be the squad that's going to win us this league. Because in my opinion, it's the best squad in Premier League, and it's arguably probably the best squad, not in terms of quality, but definitely in terms of depth, probably in Europe. So it was good to see him get a start. Yeah, it was good to see him get a start. It was good to see him amongst the goals. I think competition for places, regardless of how long he is here, is really, really good. It's nice that you've got your star striker that you bought in the summer that hasn't obviously hit the ground running. It's good to add that pressure. See Jesus come in and get 2 goals, win us the game. Nice that Eze obviously got a start. Good to see, Mosquera was back in the side. MLS, got a start. Yeah. So I was really happy with the fact that he rotated, because United is a big game, and I think we got some players that probably, needed a rest. But I wasn't confident, and I was pleasantly surprised how well we played. I was pleasantly surprised how much we dominated. And what I really liked was just how clinical we were. I didn't watch that game and feel like it was another game where we've missed, opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Because you go to somewhere like the San Siro, you don't take your chances, you don't finish your dinner, you're going to get punished. And we did the punishing. We got the opportunities. We put ourselves ahead. They clawed us back. But as soon as we got that second goal, and even when it was 1-1, the fears I had pre-game just kind of went away. I kind of felt like at every stage of the game, I kind of felt like we had it in our locker to go to another level and actually win the game.
Yeah, I think we played within ourselves. I think I just follow up on what you said there quickly before we get into the transfer news that Bobby's hopefully got for us. I don't know. The reason I felt confident and comfortable, maybe is the word, is because of the squad, as you mentioned. It's probably in the top 2 or 3 in Europe, if not the best. I think, I don't know, I just felt like we had enough first team regulars going with our squad players in the game to get through the game. Because let's 100%. Be honest, our bench was outstanding. It's probably, again, like as you said, around Europe last night, the best bench anywhere where whoever was playing last night. That's including Real Madrid. That's including PSG, in my opinion. Maybe bar the odd player that we might want to take off of them, like a Barcola or whatever. But I just feel comfortable in Europe, especially because I know teams are going to attack us, G. And obviously, the previous stream that we had with the boys on, we were talking about attacking, flair, depth, excitement. That was one of the best games of the season. Why? Because Inter Milan came out and attacked you.
And played,
Right? So in the Premier League, there are even stats out there, and I'm sure Bobby's got them, maybe not for today, because obviously the transfer show, but we are playing against the lowest block in Premier League history every week. That's a fact. I've seen the stats. I can't remember the numbers, but in terms of teams setting up, whether it's Liverpool or Burnley, they are all stacking up the back line and the midfield and playing on the break. That's what Man United are going to do on the weekend. They're not going to play free-flowing football like they did against Man City. Because if they do, if they want to do a shootout with Arsenal at the moment, we will win the shootout. Against teams like Nottingham Forest, I'm going back to that game quickly. I think Martinelli snatched at that. I think Mourinho snatched at that because they know it's not an open game. So there's more on their chance, because I've had a few more days to think about it. It's not an excuse, but I just think that runs through their mind in the league, because they know, if I get a clear chance, I have to take it. I can't miss, rather than just relaxing and just putting the ball in the net. Against Inter last night, great finish by Jesus, the first one. Fantastic. Great Saka all the way to the far post. Everyone thought he's gone out for a goal kick. Trossard hits the bar, and Jesus bang, 2-1. And then obviously the final goal, outstanding play. Fair play to Martinelli. I never knew he had that in the locker. A Thomas Rosicky outside of the foot pass that travelled 30, 40 yards up the pitch. Gyökeres called for it. He got it straight away. Why did he get it straight away? Because one, there was a lot of space. There wasn't 4 or 5 defenders around him. It was 2 against one, then it ended up being 2 against 1. And also, Martinelli understands, because he's a direct player himself. So he just launched it forward straight to Gyökeres. There wasn't a technical player like, even in the first half, Eze, he never got the assist, but he dropped the shoulder. Then he came in. Then it was a vertical pass into Jesus, who then cushioned it from MLS, who squared it. And I think Timber sliced it, and then Jesus got on the end of it. If that was Odegaard, that's going sideways.
Yeah.
So this is where squad depth, the players that came in, I think people like Eze, Jesus, MLS even, they're knocking on the door for the weekend now, rather than, they just turned up and it ended up being a drab 0-0, and then Odegaard's got no pressure on his shoulders. Because if Odegaard plays that game, he knows he's got to go and press from the first minute against Manchester United. Otherwise, I'm hoping Arteta will hook him off, because Eze would open up the game.
Yeah,
definitely. I think it's great. It's great for the squad as well. It's great for the squad.
Yeah. No, it was a really good result. And like I say, 3-1 away from home, 7-7. You really can't complain. I mean, our Champions League form has been fantastic. So, good night at the office. Let's hope we continue on Sunday. And obviously, just before we do get into the transfers, just to obviously let you know that we will be doing a preview show to the Man United game on Saturday at 6:45 p.m. And then we'll be doing a match reaction straight after the game on Sunday at 6:45 p.m. So stay tuned. Or do tune in for those shows. So what we're going to do now is going to head to the comments. There are a lot of comments that have built up. What we will bring up is obviously your individual comments, but we will also bring up some much needed information and context from, like I say, our man Bobby. So here we go. We'll start. So Mohammed, good evening to you. We've got a comment here from Mohammed saying, hijack Quinton Timber deal. I mean, there has been a lot of talk. I'll be honest, I haven't kept a huge amount of up to date with the transfers that's been going on. With regard the hijack Quinton Timber deal, is he on the brink of potentially joining someone then?
Yes, so he fell out with Robin van Persie, the manager of Feyenoord, and he's on his way to Marseille. So I think obviously we might get onto it later on. Ethan Nwaneri he's gone to Marseille. Yeah, there's some bad apples in terms of attitude there. But someone like Quinton Timber, Urin's brother, I'm sure Urin's told his brother, look after Ethan Nwaneri and make sure he comes back with the correct mindset. That would be my take on that. Because obviously you've got Greenwood there, you got Aubameyang there, you've got a few naughty boys there. So
okay.
But again, as far as I'm aware, Ethan's quite. He's got a well-rounded family, so I'm sure they'll keep him grounded, and he'll come back as humble as he's left.
Before we move on to this, obviously, next comment, and I know Bobby has answered some of these questions, but we're bringing them up regardless. Neri needs game time.
100%.
You know, he's not getting it at Arsenal, so I'm all for the move in terms of Marseille. We've got a comment here saying, hi, Bobby, hope you're feeling better now. Are we looking to bring any midfielder to deputise for Rice and Zubi? I was hoping Buadi. So we will get on to, obviously, Bobby's updates later on in the show. AFC 777, hi, Bobby, hope you're recovering well. Big up G and Ali, big up yourself for the recent content. Have we really negotiated the sale of Zidane to Ajax instead of a loan? Here in this comment, hello everyone, hope Bobby's feeling much better. Just want to ask if Neri's loan and even Zini's sales gives us room to certainly get someone in this January, and if yes, a midfielder or a defender. And like, these questions will be answered. Bobby has jumped on, so I'm just going to run through what the questions are. Good day everyone. Is Victor the top target for left back next season, and does that mean MLS is to be moved to midfield, or Victor is a replacement of homesick Cliffori? We've got here, hi Bobby, hope you're doing well today. I'm sure that's what she means. How many players are Arsenal getting in January transfer window? Next comment here again, any new players Arsenal have been linked with, please? So one of the first updates we'll bring up now from Bobby is Quinton is a done deal to Marseille, unfortunately, so there is no hijack. We will be looking at him for a free transfer. We were looking at him for a free transfer.
Yeah, we were.
So obviously, big update there. There will be no Quinton. There will be no Quinton Timber hijack. He is Timber hijack. He is off to Marseille as confirmed by Bobby. We've got another update here from Bobby. Says Arsenal's plan is to bring in around 2 to 3 midfielders over the next 19 months. Different profile types. but all with an important job to do for the future of Arsenal. Just a quick one on that, very quickly. What type of profile of midfielder would you like to see signed in the summer, Ali?
That's a good one. I
Tough
think,
question, yeah.
yeah, I think a Bawadi type, a box-to-box, Declan Rice. So another thing that Bobby says, and I've taken on board when I do streams with him recently, is he's saying, I mean, he says there are 3 midfielders over the next 19 months. That's the gap, the numbers, it's an age gap. So we've got a lot of, we've got Rice who's 28, 27, 28, Zubimendi's 26. So I'm presuming we're going for age profiles. 2 of those midfielders are going to be, one will be a 16, 17-year-old, and another one will be like 23, 22 in that age bracket, 24. You know what I mean? Because we've already got the experience there. So Buadi is 19. He's physically ready to go. He plays for Lille. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, at the beginning of this January window, he signed a new contract with Lille, but he's still got, I think it's a £42 million buyout clause, or that's the price they want for him in January. So I would love Wadi now, but if we don't get him now, I would love him to come in the summer, because I think people like Eze, I think Ethan Wanyeri is our attacking option in midfield. So if we're just parking Ethan to the side for a second and thinking of the 3 midfielders, you're probably looking at 1 defensive midfielder, 1 box-to-box midfielder, and 1 youngster to go into the under 21s to then come through, whether that's a 10, an 8, or a 6.
Yeah. No problem. No problem. Another update here from Bobby, viewers. So take a look. Ajax should be paying a nominal fee for Zinni. He would have been out of contract, so it is a huge bonus for us. And I think what Bobby is really kind of relating here to is the wages. You know, we did have a number of players that were part of the level up at some point, but have not been contributing for a while and are not contributing. And I know Jesus is kind of in that kind of remit, that bracket. So I can't remember what wages Zinni was on, but I know he was on decent wages.
He was on I think he was between 140, 160.
Yeah, and that's a lot. That's a lot for a player that is literally not even making a bench. So it's good that we've got him off our books. Another update here from Bobby. January windows, there is never any certainty of a signing. I'm still hopeful we sign at least 1 player by the 2nd of February. Currently, I don't see an attacking player incoming. Now, I'm going to give my opinion on this. I personally don't think Arsenal will sign a player this window. And the reason why... The reason why I think that is because I look at the squad, and I said it in the Discord earlier, the squad is absolutely stacked. When I look at the squad, we've got a number 1, and we've got a decent backup keeper. We've got 2 right backs. We've got multiple players that can play left back, 3 maybe that can play left back. We've got options at centre back. You think of all the injuries we've had over the course of the season in defence, and we still managed to cope, build a decent, competitive defensive side. Midfield, even in midfield, I think if we are going to sign a player, maybe it could potentially be in midfield. But you look at, we've got Odegaard, we've got Eze playing in the attack, we've got Marino, we've got Rice, we've got Zubi, we've got MLS that could play there, we've got Norgard. I just feel like we play 3 in midfield, and I think that already is you're talking 7 or 8 options. And up top, we've got Kai to come back, Yoks playing, Jesus hit 2 goals. You got Madueke and Saka on the right. You got Trossard and Martinelli. Now, what I'm not saying is, I'm not saying we don't need to improve the quality of the squad, and I think that will happen in the summer. But right now, in terms of headcount and squad, you've got to get the deal over the line for an exit for a player to come in. Like, I don't see Arsenal. I don't see the board. I don't see Arteta mid-season. I don't see any kind of urgency, and that's not me. That's not me based on information. Just me looking from the outside. I don't see why there would be any type of urgency to move a player on to bring one in, because I know fans will say, "Well, Martinelli should go." Well, if you want to sell Martinelli, you want to get somewhere in the region of 40 to 60 million for Martinelli. That's very unlikely a club is going to do that in January. And then if you sell Martinelli, it's now the 21st of January. So you basically got like 10 days to then find a replacement. And
to get a Yildiz or a Barcola.
I just don't see Arsenal doing business like that. I mean, what's your kind of level of optimism around Arsenal signing a player? And do you think we even need to sign a player this window?
So, following up on what you're saying about the squad, I think we're stacked. I totally agree with you there. Do we need a left winger? Yes, we do. Do we need a left 8 to back up Declan? Yes, we do. We've got a backup for Zubimendi, but we don't play Norgard enough. So I think in the second half of the season, we need to trust Arteta to do that. So then that'll take the pressure off Zubi. And then I'm looking at left back. So out of those 3 positions, if we're going to strengthen one in this window, and that going off previous Bobby lives and chats and conversations that we've had, if it is going to be one player, it's going to be a midfielder or a defender. I would hedge my bets and say if we do get one, and that's me presuming Bobby can confirm this, he's backstage. I've got a feeling we're going to end up with we could get a defender in, a left back that can maybe cover left centre back potentially as well, just because of not Hincapié, but more so Calafiori's injury record. It'll be Sod's law that all the boys come back, and then the first game in February, after February the 2nd, he gets injured, and all the fans are going to go crazy. And then we're going back down to Hincapié, and then one injury away from MLS. But then MLS played well last night, so it's a bit of a catch-22. But the Premier League is a different beast to Europe. It's a higher pace, better counter-attackers in terms of overall in the league. So even if you're playing a Burnley, they're going to be half decent on the counter-attack as they showed against Liverpool on the weekend.
Yeah. And I mean, on the topic of MLS, we've got an update here from Bobby. We do have defensive targets for the summer. My expectations that 2 may arrive. The future of MLS is in midfield. Thank you, Bobby, for that update. Mohammed here saying any fullback coming in January. Big Vic versus Tesco on Sunday. That's going to be a matchup. I think Bobby is answering your question, Mohammed. So fullback signing is more for the summer window. Expect departures this summer, some that may surprise, shock, and even upset you. But we are doing what is right for the club. So interesting update there.
I'm guessing that's Calafiori.
Yeah, it could be Calafiori. I think Ben White for me is one to watch. Don't ask me why. It's just a bit of
again. The reason I say that is because
I'm also a little bit. I'm not fully convinced that Kai will be around after the summer. I don't know why. Again, a bit of a gut instinct I've got. But yeah, so that is interesting. So we may see some surprise departures over the summer. So we'll have to see how that plays out. We've got a comment here. Most likely we won't sign anyone. I'm with you on this one. And after the window is shut, injuries will start to hit because every time we are in vacation in January,
we said that. Yeah.
I'm with you for the first part, that we won't sign anyone. However, I think we've had our fair share of injuries, and I think we've actually coped quite well. I think, as I said at the beginning of the show, and me and Ali have both said, I think we are pretty much stacked. You can't, to a certain extent, you can't compensate for all you can do is have practically 2 players in each position. If it just so happens that Madueke, God forbid, touch wood, Madueke and Saka got injured, you can't really blame the club, because it's almost like, well, how many wingers do you buy to compensate for unforeseen circumstances? You can't sign 3, 4, 5, 6 wingers, and have those all on the books. We've got a wage structure, we've got a budget. So I do understand what you're saying here, Chris. But I think when you look at the squad, I think we've coped pretty well, considering we're top of the league by 7 points. We're cruising in the Champions League. We're in the Carabao Cup. We're in the FA Cup. We've had tons of injuries, and we have done all right. So I think the squad is big enough to cope with a
Yeah.
normal set of circumstances of injuries. But if it just so happens that, you know, we get a severe bout of injuries and we're getting multiple players in the same position injured, there is only so much the club can do.
Yeah.
In my
And
opinion.
we also have to bear in mind Max Dowman. So
Yeah.
Ethan Wanyeri leaving today opens the door for Max to be that third, fourth choice on the right-hand side, which is absolutely fine for his development because Ethan needs minutes now. So that's why he's gone out on loan. So it's common sense that Max is now going to take Ethan's, I don't know, 100 or 200 minutes worth of football in the second half of the season, potentially against Wigan. He'll be in the squad and things like that. If we had kept Ethan now, we're just wasting a talent on the bench. We don't need to do that.
100%.
He's not even getting in the squad, let alone forget the starting 11.
Yeah.
So someone like Madueke or someone like Eze would have to miss out for Ethan to get on the bench. So that's not going to happen. So as Arsenal fans, we need to look at it, take a step back. We love Ethan. And if we go by what Arteta has said, he's a massive part of Arsenal's future.
Yeah.
And I think he will come back next season, and I think he will be pushing Odegaard for that 10 role if Eze don't step up in the second half of the season.
Absolutely.
So Max takes Ethan's position, and for me, Ethan's going out on loan gives us the opportunity to go and get a Ruben Neves if we want to, or a defender in this window. But if the window shuts tomorrow, like yourself, G, I'm content and I'm very happy that this squad can go on to win major honours on various fronts. I'm not going to be like past season, oh my God, we're short here, we're short there. Like, touch wood, fingers crossed, we're getting players back at the right time. The players are getting the correct minutes at the correct time now. They're getting sharper. Jesus' first real start, really. Got a couple of goals, building confidence, puts pressure on Gyökeres, bang, he goes and scores as well. So it's only healthy competition in the squad. The harmony and the unity within the squad sounds really good after MLS's interview yesterday. So they're going to be pushing each other to improve and level up as the season goes on. We hope, as Arsenal fans, starting on Sunday.
Definitely. Let's breeze through some of these comments because they are mounting up. Bobby says here, we aren't on vacation during this window. We are very active. There's not much reporting on it, or there are curveballs being thrown out for a false narrative. Another Bobby update. Don't forget Nuyeri in the media didn't want to leave and Arsenal didn't want to let him leave. Both false narratives. The offers we had were not suitable for Nuyeri until Marseille.
Yes, correct.
Very active. That's why we are not signing anyone. I know Chris does tend to tends to be quite skeptical.
Yeah, but this is the thing, Drew. At the end of the day, we're going to have this Arsenal fans in the fan base. They're just going to be like that. And that's up to them. So then, with all due respect, you can't ask for transfer news. And then if it's not what you like to hear, then put it in the next sentence. So just listen, you might be right, Chris, and we might not get anybody. But the reality is, Bobby works in the football field. He knows what he's talking about. We're not here. This ain't for clicks. This is not for to get more subs and more likes and share what we're doing. This is his job. So this is what he does. So you either start trusting the process on Football Takeover, or just don't watch the live because it's only going to wind you up.
It says here, Bobby, we will have a busy...
I say that with all love, Chris.
all love. We will have a busy and successful summer window. That is what a lot of clubs do in January window. Chris says, I wish the club was serious and sell Jesus this window, but now he will be kept and get a new contract because he scored twice against Inter. Be careful what you believe on Jesus. Jesus is very likely to leave. Slight chance he leaves this window, but in my opinion, he will leave in the summer. I expect 2 forwards incoming this summer. Thank you, Bobby.
And Bobby said that last summer, by the way.
That's fair enough, Chris. You don't want to hear anything about the summer. We are fighting on 4 fronts this season. The squad needs improvements. You're entitled to your opinion. Bobby says, soon we have an open window for an opportunity for this window, but prices have to be right. We have to be wary of SCR. I'm happy with the way we are doing business.
What's that, G? Gee, sorry to
Um,
bother you there, brother. Go back one. Soon we
it
have
says
an
soon we
open
have an
window.
open window for an opportunity for this window.
Interesting. What does that mean?
Prices have to be right.
Bobby,
So
can you elaborate on that?
I'm
Open window
guessing
in the
like
sense of, are we going to bid for a player, but obviously the media doesn't know about it yet? Because that's what
I'm
it
guessing
sounds like,
I'm
ladies
guessing
and
what we're
gentlemen.
looking for is a
For me,
market opportunity, and obviously Arsenal always looking for a market opportunity.
fine.
So I'm sure Bobby will kind of shed light on what he means there. Temi says, "Evening, Bobby. Did you get the get well soon card Zinni sent you?" Temi again, are we signing the left winger or is Berta back on fraud watch? I mean, to kind of answer that, I mean, Bobby has already answered. You know, we've got 2 left wingers already. I highly doubt we're going to sign a left winger until we see an exit. What about the young Lille player? I know Bobby is going to answer some of these questions. So Berta doesn't need or deserve to be on fraud watch. We are making moves and positive ones. Temi says we will probably end up with Garnacho on loan.
Temi always does the opposite, bro.
I don't think Chelsea will be letting him go anywhere. Bobby update here regarding Boadi. Here we go. We are one of many clubs who want him. One to watch in this window as a slight possibility, if not a summer move. Then we've got a comment here from Chris. The football takeover. What? Soon we have an open window for an opportunity for this window. What is that supposed to mean? I'm sure Bobby will elaborate. Charles here. Coach Ali, are we doing anything this January? Hope Bobby is doing well. Bobby has updated the chat, the comments, so flick through the comments. You will see answers to most of your questions we have also, and we will be reading them out during the live. Temi here says, for a season with only 2 defeats, why does it feel so poor? That is an interesting one. That is a really interesting one. I think personally it's because of the style of play. Because I have to be honest, when I had a conversation with another Arsenal fan the other day, I was quite gobsmacked that we had only lost 2 games. And I kind of agree with Temi. I do kind of agree with Temi. It's not a poor season. It's not, because we're top of the league. We're cruising in the Champions League. We're still in both the cups. But I'm not sitting here on the edge of my seat, you know, excited about the season. And I don't know whether that's PTSD from previous season. Or I don't know whether that's because every time I watch us, even when we win, I'm not completely convinced about the actual performance. Why do you think that is? Why do you think Arsenal are 7 points clear of the league, 7-7 in the Champions League, progressing well in both cups, but yeah, there's still quite a lot of, dare I say, skepticism. I don't want to use the word negative or toxic. Skepticism in the Arsenal ranks. Why is the Arsenal fan base so skeptical despite cruising in every competition? Is it PTSD? Is it the style of play? What do you think, Ali?
I think we covered this before Thierry Henry covered it on Sky Sports on Monday night. He said what I said and what I think it was yourself or Bobby said previous streams. We haven't won the league for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So every time we get a chance to extend the lead and we don't, it's a frustration for all of us because we are so desperate to win it.
Absolutely.
Like we want to win it now. Forget about May. We want to win it yesterday. So every time we drop points, it feels like a loss, even though we are gaining points. So if you look from November until now, we were 2 points ahead, 4 points ahead, 6 points ahead, and now we're 7 points ahead. So we are gradually going further and further away from our opposition. And in a normal season, we are where we're supposed to be after 22 games, around 50 to 55 points as a leader. So if you go and look at the history, Liverpool, City, over the past 8 to 10 years, they're roughly on the same amount of points as us. We're on 40 goals. We're 5 behind Haaland's Man City in terms of total amount of goals this season. So are we that far away from our objectives, our vision of how we want to play? maybe.
It's an interesting one.
But for me, it's about winning. I know you said at the beginning of the season, you can shut me down if I'm wrong, G. As long as Arteta wins, you can accept this type of football.
100%.
So
100%.
I think we're in a position where we're like a machine at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, every game's hard. The Premier League is not as easy as people are making out. This narrative over the past few weeks, this is the poorest league in years. It's nonsense. The smaller clubs are spending more, so they've got more quality. When the big clubs, the top 4, top 6, top 3 are playing us, they're playing with a mid to low block.
Yeah.
That is very, very hard to break down. So I'm more frustrated and pissed off by us not being clinical in front of goal. So then we can play more of an expansive game within that 95-minute period of match.
Yeah.
At the moment, the longer we keep it 0-0, it just gets boring, sideways, backwards, stuff, no vertical passes, because it feels like we've run out of ideas. But the reality is, you can make 5 subs now. So we're making attacking subs, they're making defensive subs. So it's fresh for fresh. So in the Champions League, we perform much better. Why? We look better in the Champions League. We've scored 20 goals and conceded 2 in 7 games. We 4-0 Atletico Madrid, 3-1 Bayern Munich, 3-1 last night to Inter Milan. These teams are on paper better than Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, Fulham, Burnley. So why are we smashing them? Why does it look like we're playing better football against them?
It's rushing out.
They're playing. They're playing. Why is Gyökeres all of a sudden banged one top corner? He's not had that opportunity in maybe the Brighton first minute of the Brighton game at the Emirates when he was when I don't know if you remember, the ball went through and he hit it straight at the keeper.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I can't remember Gyökeres having a ball in front of him, no defenders around him, just to whip it up. Because he's got that in his locker. That's his game.
Yeah.
But there's 5 or 6 players always in front of him. So what's he supposed to do? He's going to have to check a shot and then go to the side. So it swings and roundabouts. I think we're machine-like. I think we've got a very good structure. So that's why when the 7 changes are made, that's why I feel confident, because everyone knows their role. Everyone knows the system. So it's just pick the right team, go and win. On Sunday, it's the same thing. Man United, they'll play them. They won't go as low as Nottingham Forest, but I think they'll play quite a high line. But I don't think they're going to be on the halfway line, because if they do that, we just got to press them a couple of times and we're in. They're going to play on the break against us on the weekend because they know they're quick on the break, just like Inter Milan. So last night was very good rehearsal for Sunday. 2 passes, they're at your goal. What's Man United going to do? 2 passes, they're going to be at your goal. Fernandes is going to be kicking those balls forward into Brian, into Cunha, and it's going to make for an exciting game. I think Man United may come and play, and it might end up becoming a big occasion, because this is our biggest game. There's no easy games. Every game now to the end of the season is a cup final. We know this. I get what everyone's saying about the flow of football, and it's a lot of sideways stuff. It's boring, but we also have to take into consideration it's very difficult to break these teams down, and it's especially if you don't take your bread and butter chances like Martinelli and Moreno did last week.
You know what I mean? Definitely. Update here from Bobby. It says here, Zinni Anuary leaving. It opens a window of opportunity for this window. So he's obviously answering the question, saying that there is an opportunity that we could potentially sign a player. So that's good news. Temi, can't believe the legend is leaving, Bobby. I'm in tears. Mohammed here says, sorry, MLS is not a left back, but a midfielder. AFC 777. Hi, Bobby. Hope your recovery is going well. Do you have any transfers in at Green Amber? I'm sure Bobby will answer that. Temi, we rotated and beat a hungry Inter team. Credit where credit is due.
Yeah, they had to win.
Even Gwokin Fema scored, which is good.
That's a good one.
Oliver Martin here says, how many players do you think is going to leave? Bobby here is answering your questions. AFC 777, we have a large number in amber, none in green right now, but I do feel we have some in green, and most likely for summer move, as we are moving players out in the summer. So obviously update there from Bobby. Couple of players in amber, potential signings, but it looks like obviously in the summer is where we're definitely going to see a lot of movement. Update from Bobby as well, answering Oliver Martin's questions, this window or summer. AFC, thanks you for answering. Oliver Martin says, are you confident of getting anyone in this window? Bobby has answered saying, I am. No, we are working on something for this window. As for exits in the summer, minimum of 4 will leave. So,
Whoa.
yeah. So we're going to see lots and lots of exits in the summer. Question from Temi. Are we overdoing it a bit with Arteta's criticism? Have we beaten all the best teams in Europe this season, and we have 2 defeats all season? I mean, you know, Ali's
That's
more
a fair
or
point.
less, yeah, I mean, Ali's more or less kind of answered that. You know, he gave a really good rationale in terms of the fact that, you know, we have only lost 2 games. The Premier League is very competitive. We're flying in Europe. We're in both cups. I think sometimes we need to look at the bigger picture, grand scheme of things. And right now, we're having a good season. Boys from Neil, how are we feeling?
Sorry,
Yes.
G, just quickly. I honestly believe if we win, it's all if buts and maybes, right? But if we win our next 4 games, right, I think we open the gap
100%.
even further.
100%.
So then it's like, I'm not saying this way of Arteta ball is great, but I'm just saying it's very efficient, and it's not like we're the 5th highest scorers. It's not like we're struggling to create chances, because we created chances against Nottingham Forest. Now, whether we created 3 chances or 6, the 3 or 4 chances that we created, 2 or 3 of them should have been goals. That's my point. So we're not creating 10, 15 chances a game, but the chances we are creating should, according to the XG, turn into goals. So then it comes down to the players. Are they good enough to finish those chances?
Definitely. No, it makes sense. Makes perfect sense. It's just about looking at it rationally rather than reacting. Bobby confirms here that the main objective this window is a midfielder.
All right.
But we are working on other deals just in case.
Cool.
Neil says, Bobby man, how the devil are you? I hope you're okay, mate. I think this question has already been answered. You know, Commander Summer 81, 89. Bobby has just confirmed that we are looking to sign a midfielder this window. Question here from Neil. Bobby, basically, is there any truth to the Arda Güler news? So Bobby says here, answered a couple of questions. Midfielder is our main target again. He's reiterated midfielder is our main target again. Please do look in the comments. Try and avoid to ask the same questions repeatedly. So Bobby is confirming for about the 2nd or 3rd time now that we are aiming to sign a target a midfielder sign in this window. We are working hard, but we have to be wary of the rules. SCR. Bobby again says,
Bobby, are we looking for what age profile are we looking at here? Are we looking at a 16, 17-year-old, or are we looking at a 20 plus to 25-year-old for this midfield position?
Right. So Ali has a question, Bobby. If you can let us know in terms of age profile, that'd be great. Bobby says here, Arda Güler is someone we do like a lot. Has to be seen what happens with him with Real Madrid under the new regime. We've got a thank you here. Obviously, Bobby, you're working hard behind the scenes answering people's questions, so thank you. Martinelli is worth £80 million. Mudryk went for 72. Temi has a question. Bobby, any news on Keenan Yildiz? I think that is that's definitely one for the summer if it's going to happen. And I would love to know if there's an update on that, because I absolutely love him as a player. Now, Bobby has answered that question. So after this one, I will be bringing up the Yildiz update shortly. So Bobby says here, you will be pleased to know we will buy someone who will cover Rice with a view to be a long-term replacement of Rice. A DM slash midfielder and a creative midfielder are being lined up. So obviously Arsenal are massively future planning. Now here is a big update from Bobby with regard to Yildiz. Yildiz is one to keep an eye on this window and the next.
What?
So there you have it.
Well, I did not expect him to say this window.
There you have it.
What the hell?
Yildiz, left
we
winger,
must be clipping that,
is
mate.
one player to keep an eye on this window and the next. You have it here, folks. Chris here, big up lads, big up yourself. Hope you have a great stream. I'm off to watch the local team Carlisle versus York in top of the table clash in National League. Big up to you. Enjoy the evening. Hopefully you get the result you're looking for. Damo saying here, good evening. Hope Bobby is feeling well. He is backstage. Do MLS and Arteta clash in terms of personality? I mean, that is a question for Bobby. I have absolutely no idea. So we will leave Bobby to answer that. We've got some questions here from Chris. From AFC 777. Bobby, do you know if any clubs have shown interest or inquired about Odegaard for a sale in the summer? That's an interesting one.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd like to know what the answer is to that. Chris says Zubi will be fresh breath of air for Nueri. Or De Zerbi will be a fresh breath of air for Nueri. Thank you for
I think so. Good move.
Opinion. Definitely, and we'll get onto that if we have time at the end of the stream. Bobby's answering Damo's question. MLS is learning from Hines. Right now, I expect him to be a squad player in 18 to 24 months. As for personalities, well, MLS is a character and a good one to have around the squad. I know Bobby has spoken quite highly of MLS's character and does see him as a potential future captain for the club. Obviously, things can change, circumstances can change, but he's definitely one for the future. Commander Summer 8189. Well, Bobby has answered one part of that question already in the stream. He said that Yildiz is a player to watch this window and the next. I'm sure Bobby will update us with a response with regards to
the last time I spoke to Bobby, we are in for Barcola as well.
No problem. Thank you, Ali. Bobby is answering AFC 777's question. Berta will decide on who we sell down to his strict criteria. No one should feel safe, and rightly so. So basically, everybody needs to stay on their toes. Ali, I love you, mate. You love a chat. Love that, Neil. Bobby says, brother. That's it. Bobby says here, Bacola. Okay, big update here. Bacola and Yildiz are names that we like. In the next 6 to 18 months, we are going for 2 wingers. Interesting. And I think that can only, I'm not going to put words into Bobby's mouth at all. But what I would interpret from that is, I think over the next 6 to 18 months, we'll see both Martinelli and Trossard leave the club. That's my opinion.
100%.
That's how 100%. I interpret it. But I'm not saying Bobby has said that.
I'm with you, brother.
That's what I take from that.
Trossard, Martinelli, Jesus.
Yeah, 100%. Commander Summer 8189 firing the questions. We absolutely love it. If you haven't subbed, make sure you have. I wish the club was serious about selling Odegaard. Big M says Bobby, the top G himself. Commander again. We should be replacing both Trossard and Martinelli in the summer. I think it's pretty obvious that neither player has a long-term future at the club. Dean Pierce 9048. Good evening, gents. Isn't life just a little bit good at the moment? It is good. And I think sometimes as Arsenal fans, we forget this. I sometimes have to kind of check myself. Like I've always said, I'm not a massive fan of the style of play. At the same time, like Ali reminded me at the beginning of the season, my stance was, if this manager can win trophies, I don't really care how we play, if I'm completely honest. And I'll relate this back to the Mourinho years at Chelsea. I know I've got family, I've got friends that support Chelsea, and they couldn't stand the way Mourinho played football. But I'm telling you, when they were lifting trophies, they couldn't care less. They couldn't care less. The only time Mourinho's style of play became an issue is when they started dropping down that table and and the silverware started to dry up.
Facts.
That's when it mattered. when they were lifting trophies and we're seeing them armpits, nobody gave any bother to it whatsoever. So I love I love a good style of football. I love attractive. I like tackle football. But at the end of the day, great managers in the past, great managers in the present game don't always play like that. They're all unique, in terms of their leadership and the way they like to their teams to play. If he can bring me trophies, I'm content. Yeah.
If we end up with 80, 85 goals this season in the Premier League, are you disappointed?
Well, there you go. No, not at all. Not at all.
So we're on 40 goals.
Yeah.
And there's 16 games left. The likelihood is we're going to probably end up smacking a few teams, 3 or 4. Yeah. Wait for that.
I love that one.
So if we end up at between 80 and 90 Premier League goals this season, is it been a bad season? It's just been a frustrating one in certain games in isolation. And his selection. Am I saying Arteta's the Messiah? No, he's not.
Yeah,
he's not Arsene Wenger. Mm-hmm. He's not Arsene Wenger. Yeah. So he's trying to find himself, his identity as a manager, clearly, because he's gone from one extreme to another. Something in the middle would be nice, Mikel. I just want him to improve his in-game management, and 100%. I think the rest will follow as long as 100%. Everyone's fit. We also forget we haven't had Jesus Havertz for the whole season. Mm-hmm. We're 22 league games into the season. How many games has Havertz and Jesus played in the Prem?
Mm-hmm. No, that's absolutely true.
3 or 4 between them.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. True. So let's see what happens between now and the end of the season, and then we can judge it correctly.
Absolutely. Big up, Big M. Forward dash.
I think that's Musty.
Free. Yes, Musty. Now I see why they call you G Talks, because you talk like a G. Blessings. Love that one. Comment of the evening. We're gonna have to clip that, bro. Comment of the evening. Boom. Chris says, for me, it's PTSD mostly. I will never really trust team until I see them holding the trophy. And you know what? I agree with you, Chris. Like on this one, I know you're very skeptical because I have interacted with you in the past on X, and I do see you in the comments. And you know what? I appreciate your opinions. I love the fact 100%. That you tune into 100%. The lives, so big up yourself. Please do keep commenting. But I agree with you. I said this the other night. I actually said this on the stream, and I said, like, until I still question this team's mentality, and until they get over the line, until they prove the doubters wrong, until they stop other, until we can actually say, right, boom, we've won a Champions League, boom, we won a league. Like, we're gonna get banter because we're always gonna be known as the team that bottled the league, regardless of the context,
the needy men,
regardless of everything else. We're gonna be known as that, and it's up to these players to put to bed all those narratives. And I agree with you, Chris. Until we see those trophies, there is gonna be a narrative,
and that's a fact.
where fans can't trust, and maybe that's why I'm not as excited as I should be. For a club that is 7 points clear at the top of the league, coasting in the Champions League in both cups, I'm probably not as excited as I should be, and that is probably down to the fact that I have got ahead of myself in previous seasons.
We've been let down,
and I have been let down. So you know what? I completely agree with you, Chris. So big up yourself. Mohammed says here,
100%, I agree. Fair play.
Back on Sunday. Aaron says here, hi guys, hope Bobby well. But is there any news about Julian Alvarez? Now, Bobby has answered this question. There was a little bit of controversy on X earlier. I did see some people actually misquoted Mr. David Ornstein a little bit, and he came out pulling no punches. So I did see a little bit of that. So Bobby says here with regards Alvarez, answering Aaron on X regarding Alvarez for me right now leaves Atletico, and right now we are the most likely destination.
Come on.
Wow. I'll read that again for you people. Answering Aaron on X regarding Alvarez, Bobby is saying Alvarez for me right now leaves Atletico, and right now we are the most likely destination. Thank you so much.
Do you know who he's going to replace? Jesus. That is 100%. What it is. Jesus 100%. On about 250, 260 a week. Yep. Alvarez takes that wages, and boom, we move.
Yeah, 100%. And here is and here is the answer to your question earlier, Ali, from Bobby with regards to the
I knew he was going to do this, Bobby.
Age profiles vary from midfield 16 up to 24/25.
Bobby, mate.
Politician answer right there, you know. Neil says, Bobby dropping the Alvarez news. Boom! Bring me this man, Bobby. I don't think it's up to Bobby, but he's brought us the breaking story. Commander Summer 81-89. Are we in for any striker apart from Alvarez? Is the striker market so dire? I know Bobby has already answered this.
If we just say, for example, we get Alvarez, if we get Alvarez,
yeah.
Why we don't need any? We don't need another striker, bro.
We don't,
because we got Gyökeres. Havertz might stay for an extra season, and then he's probably going to be happy to play in a 10, maybe. And then you got Alvarez and Gyökeres. Sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
What we need, actually, and what Bobby has said, you know, like that lad from Blackburn, he's like 17, 18. We're trying to get into the youth system. And then we're trying to get a profile below the Alvarez age, between 17 and 20. So then they can come in and fill those spots because I think Havertz is 27. Gyökeres is 27. Alvarez, I think, is 24, 25. Then I think we just need one striker that's in the youth system, hovering FA Cup, Carabao Cup level.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then we'll be sorted.
Yeah, so Bobby has answered Commander Summer 81-89 with regards to strikers. So the striker profile from Bobby is an odd one. We are looking at signing a striker as we have a huge gap in age profiles, and we are trying to address it. Thank you, Bobby. AFC 777 question for Ali and G and Bobby. If you could bring in one player in this January window, who would it be? I personally would have liked us to have got Semenyo. So it's pretty easy for me. I would have loved to have seen Semenyo this window on the left. However, I always knew it wasn't going to be possible. But now he's gone to City. I'm not going to discuss it. So for me personally, if I could sign one player in this window, it would be Alvarez. And the reason why that would be is because he can comfortably play off the left, and he can also deputize at centre forward. So for me, he's a player that we could lose a winger, sign Alvarez, and he could compete for the left wing spot. He could also play
hybrid,
middle with Gyökeres, and then that still gives us the license to sell the second left winger in the summer and buy an additional left winger. So for me, I think Alvarez ticks two boxes. So if it was entirely up to me, and this is obviously, you know, in a perfect world fairy tale, it would be Alvarez. What about you, Ali?
For me, I wasn't too fussed that we missed out on Semenyo. I rate him as a player. The players that we've been linked to, the Barcolas, the Yildizes, the Alvarezes now, as of this evening, 2 out of those 3 over Semenyo for me in the summer. I think that's a better way to go. So then that will leave midfield and defence. And I would like to get Buwadi.
Okay.
I would like to get Buwadi now.
Yeah.
Really would love that. Age profile, he's good to go now. He could play if he was called upon to play in the Carabao Cup final, I'll be calm because I've seen this kid play. He's an amazing talent. Physicality, he's got it. He glides across the pitch. He's a power runner. He's a mini version of Declan Rice, basically, but he's developed. He's ready to go, even though he's 19. He plays he's like Mascara. He'd be like a Mascara. He's like, he's 21. He's got a couple of seasons before he settles in. But I think Buwadi is a type of talent that we can put in the Mascara bracket, but for midfield. And then in the summer, go get a Yildiz or a Barcola on the left, and go get Alvarez if that's who we want. And then Jesus, Trossard, Martinelli can just go.
Okay, so you heard it here first, people. G Talks Arsenal. I would like Alvarez because he can play left, he can play central. It then leaves us with the option of still selling an additional left winger and bringing in an additional left winger in the summer. For Ali, it would be a midfield reinforcement in Buwadi. Bobby has brought this comment up. It says, to answer Commander Summer 81-89, our scout network is brilliant right now. It has changed drastically over the last 12 months. We are doing the right thing. AFC 777, Julian Alvarez with a fire emoji. Bobby, question for you. We are going to bring the stream to
Go
an
on,
end
Neil.
very soon. Bobby, what percentage is there of Alvarez in January? We've got internal _ solace. Well, Ali, teams around us aren't performing. We're looking good. Does that £5 Just Eat voucher sound good? Still early days, but I think this Prem title bet's favouring you. I'm all for it.
Yeah, G, we had a bet early in the season. So I said we're going to win it.
Okay,
and he was like, I'm
nice
not too sure. So that's the bet.
Nice one. Maybe you need to up the ante, man. Up the ante. Make it a £10 voucher, man. That's what I'm saying.
He said, I told him I like to eat food, bro.
Yeah, love it. Love it. Love it.
West Indian food, Turkish food.
Love it. Love it. So, Bobby, question for you. What percentage is Buadi? Neil says here, see you Saturday, boys, taking the kids to bed. Bobby answers Neil's question. So I'm just thinking 1% in January, summer it's 70%. Is that Alvarez? Oh, that's the Alvarez question. Yes. So Bobby has said basically there is near to no chance 1% of Alvarez coming to us in January. However, in summer, it is a 70%. And I think that makes perfect sense. I wouldn't expect an Alvarez transfer to materialize in January at all. Neil says, bless you guys, and Bobby, big up yourself, Neil. Thank you for tuning in. Take care of the kids. We've got Bobby update to Commander Summer 81-89, 15% for Buadi, 70% for Summer Buadi. And then he has upped the ante for the bet. Right, fine, £50. That will do it surely. Laughing emoji. So yeah, all good, all good. Love it, love it, love it.
I prefer not to speak.
Yeah, I happily lose out on 50 quid if it means Arsenal wins the league. Do you know what I mean? I get it, so it's all good.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, we've hit the hour. So I think we'll more or less, kind of bring the stream to an end. We wanted to kind of target an hour, and right now we're literally on an hour and 1 minute.
Yep.
So Bobby, I know you are backstage. Can you give Ali the mic so he can let the people know where they can find us?
Yes, you can find us on YouTube, Football Takeover. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And then on TikTok, Instagram, and X, Football TK Over.
Wicked. And yeah, I'm G Talks Arsenal, your host. I'm going to be a host for obviously the last couple of streams, upcoming streams. Really enjoying it, getting back into the saddle. So yeah, you can find me on X, G Talks Arsenal. That's where I do a lot of my interacting. You can also find me obviously on the Football Takeover YouTube channel. We will be back on Saturday evening at 6:45 for the Manchester United preview show, and we will be back again on the Sunday immediately or soon after the match for the match reaction show. So yeah, I just want to big up everybody who has obviously tuned in, watching, whether it's on X, watching whether it's on YouTube. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate, the fact that you lot tune in, you give up your time. Life is often a juggling act, so we really do appreciate your support. AFC 777, big up for this comment. Great job, G, Ali and Bobby. Let's smash Man United this Sunday. Come on, you Gunners. And you know what? On that note, I think we'll call it a night. So yeah, thank you, Ali. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. We will be back on Saturday at 6:45 preview. We will be back on 6:45 Sunday for reaction. But from me, Ali and Bobby, have a good evening, people. Take care.
See you soon.